Hello, today we're going to go over how to archive data. There are two workflows that we're going to show: a simple archiving of data when we've decided to just sunset a control chart. And then the second one, we will look at archiving data when we want to archive historical data and then proceed forward with the newer, most recently collected data. So let's do the simple archive first. We will go to our working data set, which is Houston 5191, Gasoline QC1, demo, and DVPE. Okay, we're in the demo deployment, but this will work for any deployment. Let's get familiar with the data set. Right now, there is data collected here. Here's the setup data, about 22 data points, 43 in total. And then there's newly collected data out here. All right, there's an initial assessment that's already been done, which we can find in the assessments section. It's right here. Here's the initial assessment. We can view it. And right now, back in our overview, we are deciding we want to archive this data set totally and start new with a fresh chart. So that's quite simple. You go to configuration, you go to the archive section, hit the pencil, change the selection to yes, solidify it, and then hit save. Okay, now this takes about 10 seconds to do, so we'll just give it a second here and we can go back to the overview. Oh, there it goes. It's done a little bit early. And now what we can do is we can go to the archive, which is right here, and we'll go to Houston D5191, Gasoline QC1, demo, and our parameter will now be DVPE plus the date when the data set was archived. There we go. You'll note the banner here says this data set has been archived and is read-only. Down below, it's the data set just as we had it, with setup data just as it was, and the appropriate assessment attached to it right here, which we can view. So the data set's been archived. This data set will no longer appear in the active, but now will appear in the archive with the date attached to the sample. Okay, I'm going to take a quick second, pause the demo while I reset everything to show the complex archive. Okay, the data set's been reset now. We're going to show the complex archive. In the complex archive, what we've decided is we want to take the setup data, which we have right here, and set it aside, and reestablish a new chart with the newly collected data out here. So the data set in blue will be set aside within the archive along with the assessments associated with it. The chart will be reset using only this data right here as active and will need initial assessment. So let's go ahead and do that. Up here, this is done from the periodic assessment, which will open. And what we want to do is archive the old data and restart the chart with the new data. So we're going to click that, and we'll go down here and we'll pass everything. Okay. Now, when I save this, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. What you'll see happen is this chart will reset with only the new data. It takes about 5 or 6 seconds total, so we'll just give it a minute here. There it goes. It's been reset with only the new data as setup data. And as you can see right here, oops, it's just reloading for us. There we go. And of course, we need initial assessment on the reset data. So we would redo our initial assessment. All right, let's go take a look at what's going on over in the archive. We want to go to Houston 5191, Gasoline QC1, demo, DVPE, which you'll notice has the date now attached to the parameter. That's the date that the information was archived. And you'll see the previous setup data right here set aside in the archive. In addition to that, there's assessments associated with it, so we can go to the assessments tab, and there they both are. There's the initial assessment that was done for it, and here's the periodic assessment that was done to make the reset of the data happens. So we can take a quick look at that. Here's all the data. And down here is our note periodic assessment. Okay, thanks for watching.